on the water, commit the crime, and take off on the water. So what would you be advising those who live in those areas to look out for?
Basically, what anybody in any community should look out for, like the 2 points I raised: strange faces, strange occurrences. And in addition to that, the security agencies, especially the police, should make a stronger effort in enlightening people in such communities regarding community policing. Go in there with megaphones, make it a campaign to educate people. Go in there with megaphones, go into every village, every hamlet in riverine areas, educating them on what community policing should be, on how receptive the police will be regarding any information given to them as regards securing those communities.
Okay. About 2-3 weeks ago, Lagos State launched its Neighborhood Watch or something. It's called something like that. Yeah. What are you expecting of that particular body?
Well, that body is, how will I put it? I believe they are simply going to work in partnership with the police. These are people who live in these neighborhoods, who are intricately embedded in these neighborhoods, who will be able to provide the police with information which would further foster the enforcement of law and order. So that's basically what I am taking away from that. It will make neighborhoods safer, make neighborhoods more secure, if they are properly handled. If they spin out of their axis, then we might see them growing into other dimensions that might not be too or go too well for you and I. But if properly handled, they would definitely aid the police in maintaining law and order.
There's this, I know that growing up we used to have the CID, the plainclothes policemen. Do they still exist?
Yes, they still exist.
Are they as many as they used to be? Because then, I mean, you're walking along the road, you don't know the person standing beside you is a CID, and that's to help gather intelligence. Because someone's saying here that the reason why the attack happened in Isawo is because they reported the pipeline situation. That's why those people came to attack and to pick up the people they wanted to pick up. That's according to Best and all of that. So intelligence gathering, how much of it is the police doing? I mean, let's just assume that the public is afraid, because there are a lot of people in the public who won't even call the police if they say it's drunk, because they're afraid if I call the police, I might be the one they'll pick up.
Well, that's why we have to, you know, we have to, as citizens, we have to come out of fear. We have to combat the police with a mindset of trust, because we can all see now that as a body, these criminals don't want to give up. And the earlier we come together as a team to fight them, the better. If anyone is thinking, oh, they came back because they reported the pipeline, we don't have that as part of our investigation. But investigation is still open, it's still ongoing. But I don't want to believe they came. They are just insurgent, and they just want to carry out their nefarious activity. But coming back to the, we have what we call intelligence bureau right now. We call them the intelligence bureau. We have states, we have zone, and then we have the federal, which are in force headquarters in Abuja. Just like you won't know them those period, you can still know them right now. And then they still gather intelligence, they still gather information. And then you will see most times police foil attempts. Most times police arrest while, you know, the plan is ongoing. But it's not being celebrated in the media space because nothing has happened yet. And then when you arrest in such time, most times you don't want to parade them because it will still lead to more arrest. It's like a covert operation. And then when you get them, you don't want to expose them to the whole world. And then, you know, when you don't blow that trumpet, everyone assumes you have not done anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I can assure you, the Intelligence Bureau is working. And then
why do you think the citizens are sometimes reluctant to call the police? Is it because the police is not responding as they should, or sometimes when they respond, they don't act promptly?
Yeah, most times
because they're afraid for their own lives.
Yeah, most times you hear people, say, I don't want to talk to police. I personally have had complaints of people that we don't even know. If we tell police will go and tell them we said so. But I do tell them. For example, you have come to the DPO, you've reported, and then you've agreed with the DPO. They will come out by 6 p.m., 7 p.m. You've even told the DPO the location where they stand. And then from there you go back and then you sit in a beer parlor and you say, don't worry. Those people, by 7 p.m., they will come for them today. You have actually exposed yourself. And then when they actually come for them, someone might tell them, or they are, the ones on the run, that I suspect so and so person, because he said around 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. that I'm aware something.
Are you sure it's not the DPO that sits in the beer parlor and gives this information?
I don't know a DPO who has responsibility, sole responsibility of protecting a jurisdiction that knows that if there is a problem, he will be held responsible. That we now go and sit and reveal, plan
yes.
and tactics. I mean,
okay, that particular area, the Isawo area, is becoming rather notorious now. So, what kind of security arrangements do you have right now for that area?
Yes, right now the joint effort of the military and police operation is too much on ground there. The reinforcement is ongoing, and from time to time we are reviewing the strategy. I might not be able to tell you the operational strategies we have in place right now.
Okay.
It should not be made public.
No.
Yeah. So, but I can assure you that the security agents are on top of the situation in that area.
Now, National Assembly says that gunboats and helicopters should be deployed to that area, and I'm wondering, do we actually have all those that we can just call upon and deploy like that?
Well, I do not know what the logistics are regarding gunboats and...
Maybe I should actually be asking her that question. She would have better information.
Well, last year you saw the area bombardment of Isawo creeks, and then thereafter the tributaries on the waterway in the Isale, I'm sorry, can't get the name right now, area, because Isawo have many communities. It's a vast land, and then we have about 3 or 4 communities in that area. But last year you saw the bombardment of an area in that place, and then immediately after the bombardment, the creeks were actually cleared, and the waterway are free for anyone to see now, and then for boats to navigate, and then they shifted base. And then right now I want to believe that that area bombardment will still continue in a short while. The AIG is meeting with the CPs, the militaries are meeting with the police, and then I think the community will soon be better for it. So I mean, when they say it will be available, it's not that it's not available. It is available.
Okay, but we're going to take a break. When we come back, there's a question here for you about why do security officials express their frustration at the indifference of citizens to get involved only when you are at the receiving end. That's for you. On the other side, I asked a question earlier. You'll answer that one after we come back on the way, but you can answer this one now. I asked a question earlier. What should that woman selling groundnuts by the roadside do? What should she be looking out for? I mean, I'm using that woman because that was the example you gave. What should the person be looking out for to say a situation is not normal, or this person is not who he or she is supposed to be? What are those things that can be picked out easily by any citizen?
Like I said before, strange faces. Like she mentioned, a soldier riding a bike all up and down the community.
Which is normal.
Well, when you see someone, you see him ride by the first time, the second time, a third time, you do not normally see him doing that. It's not a habit. He's not Mr. Martin down the road that you know, who you normally see Mr. Martin, but you do not know this guy. And you keep seeing him go up and down. Ideally, you pick up the phone, dial 112. You might be wrong, it might be a false alarm, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
But that's 112. That's for Lagos. What about the other parts of the country? I mean, are there short codes, or I mean, some numbers are 11 digits.
Well, I want to believe that the security measures in Lagos are replicated across the board in Nigeria, and Lagos is a very good example to emulate. So definitely there will be codes for other people to simply memorize and call when you get to see something.
Okay. Dolapo, stand by for that question, and why your relations with the public is not